This is Jennifer with Well Traveled Life, and today we're doing something a little different.
My name is Jennifer, and I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Temple in Central Texas. Hey, Rotary Club of Temple! And I want to share with you a little bit of my Rotary journey, and I want to talk to you about what Rotary has done for me and for our world. My membership in our local club helped me to build an exceptionally good business network, but more importantly, it gave me access to some of the best friendships of my life.
Hey, Barbara, Melinda, Lee, Kathy, Irene, Fyree, Karin, Hermes, and my Rotary Twinkies, Amber, Christine, and Monique.
It's also given me access to incredible mentors and people in my town who I respect and have gotten to know in a way that might never have otherwise been possible.
I know you originally because of Rotary. Your life has intertwined with mine in every aspect, my family, my job, everything, my service in the community, everything. And I think you were really, for me, you were a model of what being a good citizen was about. And as you look back on all of the things you were involved in, what are those things for you that stood out that were meaningful and important and that you would look back and say, I'm so glad I did that because that made a difference?
Oh my goodness, probably Rotary. I think that's such a wonderful program.
But Rotary is more than just my club. In fact, for me, Rotary is probably a lot more than just my club. It's the work of the foundation that has transformed my journey as a Rotarian. Rotary is an organization, a worldwide multinational organization that in some cases has more power than political leaders or other relief organizations. When disasters happen around the world, Rotary is one of the first ones on the scene. And what's important is they're there because they are run by local people who know the area, know the people, and have access immediately, boots on the ground, that can help.
From weather disasters like Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines to the ravages of war in Ukraine, Rotarians are at work and ready to serve.
But Rotary is also doing projects around the world. Rotary is known for its push to eradicate polio from the planet, and we're so close. Rotary hasn't done it alone. It's been through the partnerships they've been able to build with other organizations, other leaders, and other health providers. But it was Rotary who started that idea, and Rotary who has helped to see it through.
Our GSE teams participated in polio vaccine days while in the Philippines.
Rotary has served to address the problems of the world. About 10 years ago, Rotary went through some pretty significant changes, and they identified 7 areas of focus that they said were worldwide issues that needed attention. They will be things like promoting peace, fighting disease, saving mothers and children, providing clean water, hygiene and sanitation, growing local economies, supporting education, and protecting the environment. And these areas are issues that they want to address worldwide. So every global grant project is going to fit into one of these 7 criteria. Another key feature of these global grants is that they have buy-in from the local community where the project is going to take place, as well as the international community that's going to help fund the project. So you're getting people that can make it happen, can identify the actual needs, identify the means and the resources to meet those needs, and then you have partners that come in and say, this is important and valuable and we want to help. It builds those Rotary friendships across the globe, and it builds projects in an international forum. That's the crux of the Rotary Foundation.
I've had the privilege of taking 3 different teams of college students to the Philippines. These amazing young people packed their bags and we flew, took buses, motorbikes, and all manner of transportation to get ourselves around the world into these very small villages and provinces in the Vizayas region of the country. We partnered with 5 different clubs in 5 different cities and were hosted by Rotarians who also were our conduits to finding the correct villages and the right people for us to work with. We spent a week in each city and used that time to work on a primary project predominantly with groups of women that centered on economic development. And then we would spend an additional day with the entire village and we would do projects involving sanitation, hygiene, nutrition, and education. Each team member was responsible for gathering supplies, doing all of the preparation, training, and teaching while we were on site. Jenna was doing the shopping for, training of the preparation of healthy meals. Each meal was made for over 100 people. Diana was teaching soap making using natural materials. Lizzie worked with villagers to make jewelry out of paper beads. And Kagan did sanitation cleanup projects throughout the villages. They would find areas that were filled with debris and were causing problems with water sources, and they would do cleanup days that would involve the entire village, and then he would arrange to have the city pick up the trash at the end of the day. Additionally, each team member was responsible for teaching a group to build a solar-powered food dehydrator. Because of sanitation issues, the dehydrators allowed people to make more food by drying mangoes, coconuts, other fruits, as well as rice and fish. Traditionally, rice was dried on the streets where cars, bikes, even animals were walking across it.
So I also want to talk just a little bit about Rotary and its impact on me. My love of Rotary started with my club and the people that are in that amazing organization. But what Rotary gave me was an opportunity to empower young people to begin a life of service themselves.
Before I was a Rotarian, I was a host parent for Rotary exchange students. And again, before I was a Rotarian, I got involved with RILA and began the first camp for District 5870 at McKinney Ruffs. I returned to camp 7 years later to build the program and ensure that we had a youth leading youth model. My next endeavor was to help build an alumni program so that we kept our RILA campers engaged in leadership and continuing their journey with Rotary. Throughout the years, Jonathan and I continued to host exchange students. I think we've had 15 over the years, and we continue our relationships with those kids as they have gotten married and now have children of their own.
So my exchange year was 2005, so it's
been a while.
Yeah, that's more than 15 years ago. I was 15 back then, so I guess it was more than half my life away. I always wanted to go abroad, I just didn't know how to do it. And yeah, it all kind of came together with Rotary coming to present the exchange and me just, applying for it, being chosen and going off. I'm not sure I went into this with something in mind. But it just felt like something that was not necessarily even fun, but just something that you had to try out. I think it gave me confidence to start with, just into who I am and what I can do. It gave me the confidence to go beyond where I was born and what life would have expected from me, maybe. You get so much out of that experience. I would want every kid to have the opportunity to do that. It just opens up your world so much.
So my work in the Philippines has always been about serving the people in that country, but it was easily molded to include college students who already had some affiliation with Rotary in our country, in our district, and allow them to see what's on the other side of the world and see how other people live and how cultures differ, and to continue to serve in an environment that probably they had never seen before and that became a life-changing event for them.
Courtney was a RILA camper and staff member. Jenna, Lizzie, Kagan, and Diana were all RILA campers, and Jenna and Kagan went on to become longtime staff members. Diana and Lizzie were youth exchange students, and everyone has remained connected and close to both the projects in the Philippines and each other.
We were not the only group doing projects while we were in the Philippines. During each of my trips, I participated in water projects. We went to schools and provided desks for an elementary school so that children were allowed to take standardized tests. And we did a wheelchair project where we made sure that a gentleman who had not had access to a wheelchair for years was given a free wheelchair and the ability to go outside of his own home.
This new model is really ensuring that the projects of Rotary that the foundation is supporting are consistent, effective, and sustainable. It's Rotary's way of being accountable for the dollars that are given to them from donors like you. The global grants are these worldwide projects supported by multiple clubs, bringing Rotarians from around the world together and allowing those folks that are local and know what's happening to really dig in and say, here's where the problem is and here's ways that we can fix it.
Global grants aren't just on foreign lands either. Our own district, District 5870, sponsored a global grant right here in Central Texas. They offered a camp for Ukrainian refugee children who were living in Central Texas. It allowed them to become acquainted with each other, to build some skills, to make friends, and become more comfortable in a new environment. The camp was held at Variety Peaceable Kingdom, which is the same place where Ryla is located for our district, and offered the kids a chance to play, learn, grow, make friends, show off. And be children.
So whether you're donating through a legacy gift in your will, through your dues, you're donating through particular campaigns like the Polio Plus campaign, or you're donating on an annual basis online, whatever you're giving to Rotary is going to solve world problems. This isn't just about our clubs, but it's about what our clubs can do when empowered with the resources of the world. Thanks for letting me visit with you. I've enjoyed making this video because it's been a great way to sit back and remember some of the projects that I've been involved with and to recommit to the work of the Rotary Foundation. This is what I care about, this is what I give my money to, and this is what keeps me a part of this worldwide organization that matters. I want to end this today by encouraging you to give to the foundation. This is your chance to impact your club, but more importantly, to impact your world. Thank you.
You may enjoy watching the full video with Dr. Macy or the complete interview with Julie Benani-Finnig. There's also a Rotary playlist that will feature different youth exchange students and Rotary experiences.